I was so much touched by what Jesus said to his followers in Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 to 16, during the Sermon on the Mount, soon after the Beatitudes, when Jesus referred to his followers as the light of the world. Interestingly, in John chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus also refers to himself as the light of the world. By the way, if it is your first time joining us on this channel, my name is Charakupa. And on this channel, I want to help you to live a Christ-like life in your family, at your workplace, in your community, or in society at large. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, consider subscribing. So Jesus likens his followers to light because he wants to show that his followers are a reflection of him. His followers reflect his truth, his love, and his presence in a dark and evil world. In verse 14 to 16, Jesus actually says, "You are a light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do men light a lamp and place it under a bushel, but on a stand, so that it can give light to everyone in the house." When Jesus spoke about light, what immediately came to the minds of his listeners was actually the lamps, the oil lamps that they always used in their own households as a source of light. So Jesus spoke about light, which was very familiar to his followers, which was also very important in the lives of his followers, because light was essential for their daily life. It made their lives much more easier. For instance, they used the light in removing darkness in their own houses, especially at night whenever they wanted to do their chores. In some instances, if something was lost inside the house, they would need light to search for that thing until they found it. Even some people who traveled at night used those oil lamps as a source of light on their journeys so that they would see their way. So light was very crucial, was very important in the lives of Jesus' followers, considering the fact that there was no electricity during that time. But this reference to light, to Jesus' followers, is a deeper spiritual meaning for us as Christians today. Jesus is informing us that as his followers, we are a reflection of him. He is informing us of the huge responsibility that lies on our shoulders because we are his followers. And we cannot shy away from that responsibility because we are the chosen ones. We have made a deliberate decision to follow Christ. So we are like that house that has been built on a hill, which cannot be hidden. We stand out in a world that is full of evil. So just as light was used to remove darkness in people's houses during Jesus' time, so we also ought to shun evil even today. As Christians, the devil has no place in our lives. We mustn't associate ourselves with evil, knowing that light and darkness are not friends. In fact, they are enemies. Where there's light, there's no darkness. Where there's darkness, there's no light. The two can never coexist. So do not smile at evil, but condemn it, both in yourself and in others. It is your duty and responsibility as a Christian to fight evil and not accommodate it in your life. You must live an upright life. Morally, as a Christian, you must be upright. You must sow the seeds of love instead of hatred. You must plant the seeds of hope where there is despair. Also, just as light was used to search for something lost in the house during Jesus' time, so it is also your responsibility to turn the lost back to Jesus. And you do so out of love, not out of force. You do so through the gospel, through the words of truth and kindness. You do so without showing off. Remember, love conquers everything. Therefore, as a Christian, you ought to take it upon yourself to guide others in the correct path. The path of good that leads to Jesus. So you ought to be a good role model in your family, in your community, or in society. In verse 16, Jesus goes on to say, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Let other people emulate your Christ-like behavior. So you cannot just talk about being a Christian. Act like a Christian in order to glorify God. Action is crucial. Jesus emphasizes your actions over your words. Remember, anyone can talk. Only a few can act. That is why they say actions speak louder than words. Remember the words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven." Jesus again emphasizes action over words. If your faith doesn't have works, then it is as good as dead. And having a dead faith is equivalent to being a non-believer. I urge you to have a living faith, a faith that is full of action. So I would like to encourage you to be kind, to be honest, loving, dependable, and forgiving in your family, in your community, in society. That is how people will know that you are a Christian. You don't have to go around telling people that you're a Christian. People will see it through your actions. People will see it through your deeds. People will see it through your behavior. Shun evil. care for and guide others to Jesus in humility, because you are the light of the world. You are a reflection of Jesus. Keeping your faith burning requires prayer. So if you struggle with the distractions during prayers, be sure to check out my video on the 6 ways to overcome prayer distractions. Please subscribe to my channel so I can help you live a Christ-like life. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed and bye for now.